All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Golden Dice Podcast. This is going to be the last one of this segment, I guess, of these batch of games, I guess is the more correct term. But we got eJabba, Watt, Sentinel Messenger, a classic, one that's been around for a while. You know what it does, versus the new Trandoshans with DeathTrooper. So it opens up wanted, wins the battlefield. So Night Sister Layer's online, so that's how he gets to 3 resources. eJabba, Watt, Sentinel Messenger, still pretty much the same. The new toys that it gets is TIE Bomber and Duchess, but the big card that it's really getting is Reap, which is turn one of your dice to sideshow a resource, and then ambush. He doesn't even need it. So Mike grabbed the Reap, and it looked like he threw 2 Forsakens to the bottom. Not that he really had a opportunity, but Mike doesn't have a great. So that's a little weird with counterintelligence. You probably want to face the enemy first. So yeah, the 2 cards that I drew into were the best defense that he had put there, and face the enemy was the second card. DeathTrooper comes in. We see a doubt on that die. It's a 1. We ping Watt for 1. Power action to go to the 2 that looks like. Trying to set up the DeathTrooper +2. Messenger comes in. And didn't see what that card was. So yeah, the DeathTrooper now goes to +2. So we have 4-5 damage on board. We do have the focus fire as well. And Watt rolls the indirect. We do focus fire for, what's that, 3, 6. So Watt is at 7. 1 away. So he does the Reap, so he gets 4 money off of that. Now I'm in a position where the discard becomes pretty intriguing. He's sitting on 6, and he has 2 cards in hand, so I really have a 50-50 of getting whatever support he might have. And I got the Entourage that was in hand. So that's big, so Mike can't really do much this turn. The Cultural Records is fine. Much rather he play that than whatever he could have done with Entourage. So he could have ramped right into the 2 Entourages right away, and then had a Fickle or Raiding Party or whatever he might have in that deck. And the special isn't as great later in the game. So he takes the other focus fire, though. That is good. That's certainly relevant. And the double focus. Probably at this point, either take a shield or could go for damage, as you did none. I think Mike ends up going for the damage, but I don't remember. So I killed Watt, trigger wanted, and get $2. Didn't play a single upgrade, played a single focus fire, and killed a 9 health character turn 1. And discarded an entourage, so. Definitely looking like a decent spot. He does the 2. The reason I played the Wanted instead of holding it next round for Night Sister is that I just really didn't want it in my hand anymore, but I wanted to downgrade on the board. And we know I got a best defense, face the enemy, riot shield, act of cruelty, and another wounded. So it actually didn't matter. I would have had a wounded either way. But I think I saw Mike draw into a Mega Blasters. Yep, Cultural Records comes in. Hitting the focus side. Now I'll do face the enemy, which ends up being really weird for me. Just with the Sentinel Messenger plays, wasn't really super happy with it. So he ends up with 2 Megas. A Duchess are the bombs that he has, but he also has a Hover Tank and Fickle, and then Doubt and Reap. I figured Reap wasn't overly relevant because he's sitting on 6 resources. So I knew that of the 3 bombs that he could play, he can only really play 1 unless he reaps into it. So it's just like a weird position where like you want to put Megas back, but then you got to put both back, and then even if he for some reason can't get money for, which he should have been in anyways, he'd be able to play Duchess and a Fickle. So I think I end up putting 2 Megas back. And it's also, if you put a Mega back, then he could just Messenger grab it. So you're kind of in this weird position. And part of me was like, do I respect the Duchess? Because it'd be 2 to everybody. It would actually be 3 to my DeathTrooper because he actually is a trooper. So we do the Fickle first, and I think I opt for the Mega right, but knowing he has Reap in hand is still probably the wrong decision because he could roll out eJabba. And you got a decent chance of getting one of the resource sides, so you reap the other and resolve. And then now he's sitting at 9 resources. I was like, see, leader scoundrel. Yeah, somebody call this guy for stalling, honestly. Just make a decision, dude. And Mega Blasters goes back on top. Here comes eJabba. We got a double focus and a disrupt. So with that, he does send the Fickle and the Mega Blasters down to the bottom. So 3 for 1 and a disrupt. Come in on the other Trandoshan. I probably in the moment wasn't too worried about Reap on the +2, simply because I had best defense and I could have stopped that. Sentinel Messenger comes up, and he pulls an Electroshock. Takes a Disrupt. It almost feels bad because I still have both power actions live. Or, well, all three, but like that, the two Trandoshan dice that are not currently showing damage are going to be able to. So knowing Mike has a doubt, he doubts a 3. See, I make the weird misplay of like, I almost feel like I should have put Wanted on like the person I was going for last, because I found myself getting into a weird spot of like I didn't have a bounty to power action to or with. Whereas, if I, Wounded, I'm going for eJabba, but if I played like Wanted on like the Messenger earlier, then that's going to just stick around the whole game. And the 2 resources haven't been used yet, but they certainly could be this turn, though. Be relevant. The special comes down. That is a feel bad moment. And I know that he has Reap in hand, so I best defense. So I get to keep my cards, and he does not get to go up to 8 resources. He plays Mega. I do the power action with the DeathTrooper. And so Mike still has the Duchess, the Hover Tank, and Reap in hand. So 2 blanks and a 2-for-1 come out on the Mega Blaster and Trooper dice. So now we are showing 7 damage on the board. eJabba has 10 health left, and the Messenger has 8. So we see the 2 Disrupt come down, and I really would have liked to play the Riot Shield, but it puts me in a spot where if I play the Riot Shield first, he's definitely going to take the Disrupt, I would think. Yep, so I pump that into Jabba the Hutt, so he should have 6 on him. And remember, he has 9 health, so he has 3 left. So Mike opts for the Disrupt there. Yep, focuses 282, and does the 4. So we're feeling okay. Losing 1 Trandoshan, though, can really hurt, so it's definitely not the best spot in the world. Things could go downhill pretty quick if he's able to control a little bit and ramp even one more thing. So I DM right away. Greed would have been to play the Riot Shield and hope that he doesn't roll in, but Mega Blaster, the first Sword Stormtrooper dice do stay in the pool, so wanted to avoid that. Taking 4 in direct and him still having 2 dice from that is not a feel-good moment. Because he definitely would try to roll in and try to get lethal on that last Trandoshan. Messenger comes in, hits a focus, can't see the card. All right, we see the 3-for-1, but it's going to hit a motive that gets the range. That probably would have been the best entangle. I think I see that in his hand. The 3-for-1 and the blank in that moment, and you would have had a hit a motive definitely again in the round, but you don't know if you're going to get entangle for value later in the round. I think that was the moment where one of my dogs tripped over one of the microphone cords and pulled it off the table. Good times. But we were having issues before that, so not really sure what that happened. Yeah, so see the entangle comes down there. That's definitely a feel bad moment because you could have gotten the blank earlier. I activate, he activates, he gets a discard and a blank. For a second, I think thought he was playing Sentinel Messenger. But the only card he can take is DM, and I see face the enemy definitely goes to the bottom. I couldn't really catch what the other ones were. So I do the 2 knowing that I'll still have a power action and I have Act the Cruelty in hand. Feels bad not getting value on, in the damage to the Sentinel Messenger, but certainly discard 2 and a kill feels great. He was starting to take him from his deck, it looks like. So Reap and DM, both irrelevant cards to get at this point. But he has a Entourage and the Duchess in hand, so he's going to have a hard time. He's not getting to it this turn. So I hit the 2 ranged and the 2-for-1. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have the power action on the Trandoshan. Special comes down. Don't think there's anything for me to care about that. I opt to play the Riot Shield because then I'll be able to power action the DeathTrooper to the +2 and resolve for 4. And he gets the, I think it's Rendezvous is the name. It's the resolve one of your yellow dice with a pay side, decreasing it by 1. It's essentially free. Yep, I flip it to the +2. Free in this deck, at least. I don't really know of any other paid sides that are 2. I remember like the Sonic Cannon had that or something, but I don't know of any current ones. So we all pass. And at this point, it's pretty much game. He's got a Sentinel Messenger and Cultural Records and 3 resources to go. So the only thing he could really play is Entourage, but it's not even going to be a good play at this point. So he's got a Fickle, a DM, Forsaken, Tech Team, and is it a Fist? Yeah, it's a Fist. Yeah, so he has the battlefield. He's going to do Cultural Records and hits the special again. But I can't really tell all the cards that I have in hand. I know one's a Boba Fett's wrist laser. Probe, we got armor plating there. So I opt the probe into the full 5. Not usually a great play, but that's probably the card that he wants to take. So I'm going to see if I can get value out of it. And I do get the Forsaken, which is a big one to grab The other card revealed was Tech Team. Yep, and now we'll get a look at my full hand. So we see Act of Cruelty and a DM are the other cards. I have no reason to DM. The cultural records. And, if he opts to take that over either of the other things, it's going to feel fine. So he takes Act of Cruelty. And it does feel bad that he's not able to get the value from cultural records of the, after the card is played, you can take a resource or additional action or whatever it exactly says, mainly because I already played an Act of Cruelty, I already played a Rendezvous, and I already played a Focus Fire. So all of them have been played previously to him taking that. Fickle comes down. That should signify he has no answer. So I really should just power action. But I don't. We got to pay side. We only have $1 right now, though. And he hits the 2 disrupt. So we resolve a 3. And all this requires is a power action to a 2 side. He's going to pitch to reroll. Oh, come on, Jack. What are you doing? Hits another pay side. Yeah, the correct play is just to force lethal. I don't really know what I'm playing around. He played both doubts, I think. Right, and now I lose a character that didn't, none of this needed to happen. But just separating the dice, so we know what one is removed. I take the disrupt. I mean, at that point, I get doing that just because might as well get value. Oh, I can't power action. Oh my gosh, that's why. I'm so dumb. That's what I was talking about earlier. That was the point I was trying to make. I knew at some point in the game it was relevant. But yeah, no bounties. It was just kind of weird at the end. But Trando's real good, beating the supports. And we'll kind of see where we're at for live gameplay. We're kind of doing a little quarantine in the house, and maybe we'll try to feature some TTS because who cares if we're in the good graces of FFG. But either way, just keep subscribe, like the channel, Facebook, all the things, YouTube, And we'll keep you posted on just more content coming. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys next time. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Golden Dice Podcast. Thanks for watching the stream or listening to the podcast, whatever it might have been. If you haven't already, you can subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, on Spotify, pretty much wherever you listen to your podcast, we are on there. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Game Shop of Destiny. You can head to their website and use the promo code Golden Dice for 10% off your single orders. You can also head over to Parker Simpson Artwork and check out all of the promos that he's created for the game. If there's a character in the game, he has a promo for it, so you can head over there and order a few things from him. And lastly, if you haven't, head over to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Twitch and subscribe to us on all of those things. Leave reviews. That would be a big help to us as well. And from there, you can check out articles, our podcast, and also live gameplay that we do. And we'll catch you guys next time.